"No, Dad. I will not let you take my house camping." I mentioned in a prior post that my narcissist father in the 90s was angry that I was living out of a camper trailer. But not because I was using it for a home, but because I had a camper trailer. He'd wanted one for years, and just never got around to it. On top of his other faults, you can add extreme procrastinator to the list. After I moved into my uncle's backyard with the trailer, my parents eventually found me. They forced their way in and stole my car keys, and then my car. That situation had to be resolved with police. They eventually started demanding I be their free driver again, for when they went out drinking. And that didn't go over well either. Eventually my mother showed up to gripe at me about something else. By then she was pretending to be over wanting my car. But it was pretty obvious she was not over it. On this particular day, she was mad at me, because my father was ranting about my trailer. Apparently he was pissed that I could just take it anywhere I wanted. And my mother told me she wanted me to get an apartment or something, so my father would shut up about it. I told her no, I was getting way too good of a deal living out of the trailer. My uncle was hardly charging me anything, and I just had to do his yard work on top of the low amount of rent utilities I was paying. There's no way I'd give that up for an apartment. When my parents got their hands on another Vista Cruiser, it could tow things like my Caprice could. The Cavalier my father stole from me couldn't tow anything, and the small orange 70s car my mother had used for a while wasn't made for towing either. So when they got another wagon, they got one with a tow hitch. And as soon as they had it, my father wanted to start towing things. And then he decided all of a sudden he wanted to take my trailer camping. And he treated it like an FII at first. My father, in his usual attitude, just showed up and bluntly told me he was going to use my trailer to go camping. I refused, and then he tried to order me as his son to let him take my trailer camping during the summer. I told him no again. It was literally my home. And I know him. He tried to park my trailer at his house, and then never give it back. My father tried to give me his Gorilla Man act, and I met it head on. Basically 2 rednecks chest bumping. But I told him to his face that he was not getting my trailer, ever. And to go out and buy his own. The trailer also had a title in my name, and I wouldn't hesitate to call police if he took it. My old man, as usual, called me ungrateful, tried gaslighting, and finally left it. My uncle watched practically the whole thing from a window with popcorn. He loved any time he saw my father miserable, because my father was the golden child between them, and my uncle was treated horribly when he was growing up. So he was more entertained than anything else when he saw my old man having a tantrum over not getting his way. My father went out and rented a camper trailer for a few days. And then suddenly he didn't like camping anymore. He only wanted to do it because I had a trailer. And it was pretty obvious he wanted to claim it for himself. He honestly believed that anything that was mine was also his. And it took him several years to get it through his thick head that wasn't how things worked. And just about anything he ever borrowed from me after I moved out, I never got those things back. So I didn't trust him with anything. I personally didn't feel the need to do any camping because I was already living out of a trailer. But I gave it a try when I became a parent myself. And it honestly wasn't that fun for us. My ex-wife especially hated it. But I wouldn't say she was what ruined the experience. I did take that trailer to a couple of family reunions, though. That saved on motels. I was far from the only one in the family to do that though. And my parents demanded I let them sleep in my spare bunk for free during our mid-90s family reunion. I said hell no. And my parents were humiliated right out of that reunion anyway, because they doubled down over how I didn't hand over my second car to them, and my mother got slapped by a cousin for being a horrible parent. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.